Welcome back to Markable May, your one stop podcast for navigating student choices, careers, and everything in between. I'm Sakshi Rohra, a mindset coach from Blissfully, Soulful, and today we are diving into one of the hottest debates. Should students pursue their undergraduate degree in India or go abroad? Joining me is a seasoned career counselor with 25 years of experience who's guided thousands of students towards the right educational path. A very warm welcome, Devna.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sakshi. It's such a privilege to be again here for my last episode of Markable May. But I will not disappoint my audiences. I'm definitely coming up with some set of mini series in the month of June. So I'll just request all my viewers to stay tuned.
Amazing, amazing. So, Devna, why do you think that this question, India versus abroad, is creating so much confusion today?
Yes, Sakshi, a very good question. And this question I'm facing every single day, or rather every single hour when people
Oh.
are messaging me, questioning me. So this is definitely a question in every parent's mind. You have to keep a lot of things in your mind, right from time, money, cost, safety, resources, students' future direction, students' aspiration. A lot of things have to be considered in mind. But a simple answer to this question is that if a child is really wanting to settle abroad, I will say earlier the better. The earlier you take up UG program, you will be getting all the credentials, all the facilities, everything will become much smoother. So if the child is 100% sure that abroad is my future, I think earlier the better. But still, if it is this, there is some confusion. One should wait till the graduation. You can always finish your graduation in your own country and then think about masters abroad.
This is a real tough question and answer together. When you say there is a confusion and sometimes to figure out even if the child really wants to go or not go, it's really a debatable question at times. So it's a toll on parents as well as students. So let's start with India. What are some strong reasons to stay?
Yes, first of all, it is cost effective. Getting through competitive exam is much easier, as in if you take up JEE, NEET, CLAT. The exams are not easy, but once if you clear up the exams, you get a good score, your ranking is good, you get into top-notch universities of India and you can finish the same program at a minimal cost, whereas the same program if you go abroad can become too expensive and might not fit into everyone's budget. So yes, financial factor is the main factor. Doing a UG program in India will give you a cost cutting. Also certain things like whether you're familiar with the culture, family, food, language, always in your home country, that comfort zone is there. Whereas when you're going abroad, you have to accustom yourself to all these things. So many a times, you might feel homesick. The familiarity of culture, food, language is not existing. So there are a lot of factors when you're considering abroad studies, and let's just not stick to one factor as in I'm going abroad, I am going to a top university and I'm going to gain a degree. You have to spend your good 4 years, sometimes 5 years if you're taking an integrated program. So mentally you have to be prepared that you might feel like an alien when you are in a different country. So there are a lot of things that come to every child's mind. I'll give you a small case study of a child named Rishi. He came to me, he had cracked his IIT JE Advanced, and he took up IIT Bombay with computer science. Of course, he had the opportunity to go to MIT, but he preferred being in India because getting into IIT Bombay itself is a privilege. And today he's working with Google. And trust me, he saved almost 2 CR by avoiding to go to a university like MIT because he got equal, or I should say, better opportunity in his own home country. So it's totally irrespective. It is child's point of view, what he wants to prefer, and it's quite subjective with every individual.
So I think this is a great clarity with your case study that you gave that it's not always necessary that if you're going abroad, you're doing better or you're going to get a better opportunity. So now you can add on to a little bit what about going abroad? We
Yes.
understood India, now let's understand abroad.
Yes. So when a child goes abroad, there is a global exposure. If you take it in a positive way, it's a multi-cultural place where you will meet people from China, Africa, North America, South America, Australia, Europe, all come together and are studying together. So this global exposure can be diversified in a different way, and there can be a lot of growth. Your alumni becomes very strong, your networking becomes very strong. There is another one important point is flexible curriculum. If you go abroad, you get a lot of opportunities to understand various subjects. And many a times in your second year or third year, you get opportunity to select your majors. So very wisely, you can select your majors as per your niche, as per your interest, and as per your academic records. So this is one best opportunity where you can merge up a lot of STEM and non-STEM courses and move further. You can merge up subjects from commerce and humanities and move further. So the opportunities are ample. And they have a lot of futuristic programs where AI is incorporated. So it becomes a different ball game altogether. Of course, curriculum wise and everything, it is really very smooth and superior in certain ways. So I'll give you one example of Arushi, who took up psychology in Toronto University. And today she's doing so well in a field of psychology, and she's planning to pursue her master's as well abroad. So she found it very comfortable because the kind of internship and case studies that were happening over there were very different than what it is happening in our own country. So yes, certain programs are giving a different edge over what we have in our own country.
So, yes, I get what you're trying to say, that exposure, global exposure is definitely making you stand out in some form differently than what people are doing, what kids are doing in India. But it doesn't say that abroad is only the thing. You get the same opportunities here as well if your child is open to learning, open to grow, right?
Absolutely. So one point I would want to say that in past 2 days back, we saw that Trump has revoked SEVP. Now, what is SEVP? It's Student Exchange Verification Process in Harvard University. He has stopped foreign students from entering Harvard. So such kind of rules and policies sometimes get very rigid. And many a times it happens so that after graduation also the OPT, that is the training working visa, is restricted. A lot of new policies are coming up. And when the student gets work, again, in between any time layoffs are happening. So I have experience when children have done so much of hard work, they are abroad, but suddenly some layoffs are happening, and the same degree brings no value to them when they are abroad and they have to come back to India. So I'll not say there are all positive qualities. There are a lot of pros and cons to every program. And then, I feel child should look at Canada, UK, Australia, Singapore, if US is not what is clicking up, because I'm seeing in past few days, everything is getting very strenuous. So
Hmm.
be very mindful in selecting your colleges, be very mindful in selecting your programs. Yes, for STEM field, I will strongly recommend to go abroad. For law, medicine, civil services, I will never recommend to go abroad, because law, medicine, and civil services are those fields which you're going to practice in India. So you better get Indian education. But yes, when you're talking about multidisciplinary course, interdisciplinary courses like fashion design, liberal arts, psychology, sports management, business management, yes, abroad you have a lot of scope and growth.
Thank you, Devna. With all this, don't you think that there are also myths that are people falling for? Like abroad is always better and it is too expensive. I know we've covered a lot, but I think we should add on a little bit more information on this.
Yes. So abroad is better. I will not agree. There are a lot of opportunities in your own country. I think in next 10 years we are going to have a startup culture. There is a big wave that has happened, and tremendously people are trying to get into the startup culture, small time businesses, and they are really doing very well. Like, if you know Zepto, just a 21-year-old guy, and today he's a multimillionaire. So you never know when child gets into software developing, or if they are into app development and something clicks great, there is a lot of opportunity in your own country. So I will never say that, going abroad is better. It is very subjective. It differs from student to student. Whereas the another question is, it's going to be expensive. Again, I don't agree to this. If you get right kind of scholarships, and remember one thing, if you're planning abroad, right planning is needed. Right from grade 9, 10, strongly I suggest that you do a right kind of planning. But still, if you're a little late, then 11th and 12th is the right time where you have to make a T profile, as in your profile should be so strong, depth wise and breadth wise, that you land up with right kind of university, your dream university, with proper planning. So it's not academic hard work, it is not other things, but your extracurricular activities and profile, everything matters. But above all, I will suggest a strong planning.
Amazing. So, how do you think a student can decide what's right for them?
Yes. So the child has to identify their career goal. They have to identify whether they are okay to live independently. They have to understand what is their financial backup. Of course, they should not neglect the academic records. If your academic records are strong, you will get tuition fee waivers and a lot of opportunities. So the cost cutting is definitely going to be there. And you have to understand the learning environment. So all these factors, I strongly suggest every student and a parent to consider, right from the personality trait to the career goals. So it's a holistic thing. Like, I got a student named Tanvi. She wanted to get into science field, health sciences, but she did not want to take route of MBBS or get into NEET. She took a biotech in Netherlands, and it is a strong place, when it comes to life science curriculum. And she's really very happy with it. So when you don't want to go for a mainstream MBBS or something like that, but still you want to stick to biology and life sciences, then you can definitely look at other countries. So it is very subjective. It differs from child to child. A lot of factors should be considered. And last but not the least, you should always consult a career counselor. If not me, whomsoever, but I will strongly suggest to go to a career counselor for right kind of planning, because a career counselor will give you a customized roadmap, streamline the timeline, and will accordingly tell you how to choose your stream, your subjects, and how to work on your parallel entrance exams, right from SAT to APs. Because if you're giving your SAT and APs, and if you're getting a good score, you're definitely landing up with good scholarship and tuition fee waivers.
Amazing. So, this has been incredible information that you've shared with us, the knowledge that each parent and each child of teenagers from ninth grade parents should know. So, with this, would you like to just give one small tip to the students? What would it be?
Yes. So, one thing, please don't live in any FOMO. That is fear of missing out. And another thing is, please don't follow the herd. Please don't follow the herd blindly. So I will end it in a very simple way. Please, students, don't have any FOMO and don't follow the herd. Go by your gut, go by your interest and aspiration.
Yes, and this is very important, because kids have been in school, from KG, so many of them from KG till the 10th with the same friend circle, and they feel that, we are going to continue our journey together. And it's not always that, that separation is definitely some kind of somebody might score well and go abroad, not score well, still go abroad, and somebody who, chooses to just be in an HSC college and do some skills apart with that. So,
Absolutely.
they just need to choose their journey and, choose their purpose and move on their path. So, yes, thank you so much, Devna. This was amazing. We'll see you again very soon on our next podcast. Thank you so much.